Hello there everyone. Today I've come out on another walk into wild nature to introduce you to a plant. This is a medicinal plant which has become local to the British Isles, and this is called Broom. At first glance some people think it's gorse, but this is Broom, a very different plant. Although there's something about them that looks rather similar. The main difference to point out is that with gorse, you've got all the thorns, all the prickles. With Broom, there aren't any. The flowers are very similar colour, but more of a lemon yellow in case of the Broom. And the reason why I'm sharing with you about this plant is this is another of nature's medicine. There's another plant which has been labelled as being psychoactive. And what is interesting about it is it grows wild, obviously as this one does here, but it's also very popular grown in suburban gardens. So there's two possibilities, either finding it out in the wild or in suburban gardens. It grows in other countries. I suspect it's originally from the Mediterranean. It grows in countries like Corfu, Italy, places like that. So let's do a little look at this plant, Broom. So behind me, this Broom plant is just starting to come into flower, and in the north of England that works out to be early May, and it will be flowering for some weeks. More and more blooms will appear until by the time it's in full bloom the plant will be completely covered in these lemon yellow flowers. And so because of the colour I'm already labelling this in my own awareness as being the yellow medicine. Now, as to exactly how this medicine works with human beings, I have yet to find out, so this is going to be my spring and summer to discover the way that this plant works with people. And what I've learnt so far is that the plant needs to be smoked. It's the only recommended way of ingesting the plant is through smoking. And to do this, what you would do is you'd use another plant such as tobacco. If you don't smoke tobacco, you can make use of a herbal smoking mixture, and lime flowers works very well in this capacity. And so when it comes to harvesting it, it's a matter of going around the plant and collecting the blooms and taking them home and putting them into a jar and sealing it and leaving them in a sealed jar for 2 weeks, after which time it's ready to be smoked. So I'm looking forward to exploring this energy of the plant and finding how it works medicinally with humans. So when you've selected a plant and you wish to collect blooms from it, the very first thing to do is tune into it, become aware of its energy, how beautiful it is, and the traditional thing to do is to give an apology, just to say I'm sorry before actually taking a bloom. And the other thing you can do is to give gratitude for taking a bloom. So long as you show a sign of respect when you do your taking of the blossoms, that's very important, as it is for collecting all types of plant materials. So here's a close-up of some of the flowers, and I recommend one of two possibilities for harvesting. One is just to go up to the plant like this, when it comes off very easily. The other alternative would be to use scissors, but no, this comes off incredibly easily. So there you go, that's what you're looking for. So it's just a matter of collecting these flowers up, putting them in the bag, taking them home, putting them in a jar and sealing it and leaving them for 2 weeks. Then you're ready to explore this medicine. And my feeling as I'm starting to pick these flowers is the most appropriate thing to do would be just to pick them when they're in full bloom. When they've started to open up, that feels appropriate. And as long as they're close, to leave them. And to make sure you always leave some blooms on the plant so it can continue and complete its life cycle. So I've found it surprisingly easy to actually pick the flowers, and here you can see what I've picked in just a short time. Whilst I've been communing with this plant, the words I got were for lifting of the spirits, and so I take that to be an indication this plant would be very good for depression or any low spirited condition. And I can so relate to the colour of the flowers and the colour of the sun, and it would be like giving a dash of sunlight into a dark place if a person was depressed. If you choose to work with this plant, I strongly suggest you do your own research, and here's a website I particularly recommend you look at, and also just to look on any website which refers to Broom and its benefits and effects and preparation. That would all be very helpful to you. So I wish you all the best with exploring Broom.